the shining golden side. Let your inner spark ignite. Find a treasure.
呀，这个司机做些什么吗？
Reach out for it and take a flight. Lucky you're not.
Rather than the distant past, don't you think it's better to look forward to the future, my partner in crime?
Chin up, in yourself confined. No doubt, face on your side. You're chosen, so enjoy the ride. There are things.
我的呢？
不的，我的米的。
That's his role. Embrace the result. Stop keeping score. That's the essence. Life's true goal. Not just trails and battles tough. Go take and joy and sing out stuff. Even when it's getting rough, easy, have fun is just enough. Yeah, the shining golden side. Let your in.
我是露西亚，你也可以称呼我为夜魔使者。 是你，可不好！这下行动报告又要多写一页了。是的。Hello， 你好。 记得你的退路。我很清楚再度振翅的理由。回旋。让你久等了。让舞台再华丽些。我很清楚再度振翅的理由。
消灾解厄之事，我可以帮你。
天气很好，适合出门探险。来次深夜旅行吗？你肯定会喜欢的。要和我共舞午夜曲吗？要和我共舞午夜曲吗？